Welcome to Big Vile Opinion. Moderators, with my permission, any negativity in the chat should be hidden from this channel. This channel is a negativity-free channel, drama-free channel, and we are here to push the message out. We will not be distracted. So with my permission, any negativity in the chat should be hidden from this channel. Welcome to Big Vile Opinion Platform.
And I just really want people to know, I appreciate anybody that's helping me. I appreciate anybody that's helping me. A lot of people have been there for me. I just don't want people going back and forth, being mad at each other because one person did this for me and another person did that for me. That's what the devil wants. He wants to cause confusion. That's what these people want. They want to cause confusion. And confusion ain't gonna do nothing but keep me in here. But the real thing here, lifetime, as far as quick on lifetime, as far as lifetime is concerned, there are real people, real women out here really being abused, really missing. They're really missing. They're really chained up in basements. I've been in here 4 years. I haven't seen one person that was ever chained up in a basement come forward for anything. But I tell you one thing, before Lifetime came out, I was minding my business. I was in the studio. I was working with celebrities. I had tours. But when Lifetime came out, all of that went away. Meaning, before Lifetime came out, I had no charges pending against me. Nobody had went to a radio station or had went to, a police station. It took a year to put together Lifetime. If all of the things they said I did on Lifetime were true, it only take a minute to go to a police station. But when there's a crime committed, you don't go make a movie on it. You go to the police station. Nobody had done that.
Yo, what it do? It's your boy Big Vile Opinion, man, back with a quick video, man. I hope everybody can hear me. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. This live ain't gonna be long because it'll be short, simple, to the point, you know, short, simple, and to the point. As far as when it comes to Robert Kelly and the allegations that has recently been circulating. Um, One thing about it, we the people who have been standing in this fight, who has been following this case since the beginning of it, we can we can attest to some of these allegations that are being put out now through attorneys of Mr. Kelly. This is some stuff that we have been knowing and understanding for years now. As I sit on and I sit back and I listen, because at this point in my life, I'm busy, I'm working, I got a lot of things going on within my personal life. But sometimes I like to listen in. But when I tell you this, and I'm gonna say this, and hello to everybody that's in the chat. Hello everyone in the chat. Hello everyone in the chat. I hope you all are having a great day. Just hold on, give me a second. Give me a second, y'all. Okay, yeah. So as I was saying, I sit back and I'm listening to Willie D live, and I'm listening to this guy ceddy Nash, and I'm listening to all these different bloggers, these different platforms, uh, who had really nothing to say when R. Kelly was going through the things that he was going through. None of these people was really vocal. You know, Willie D talked about some things, but Willie D didn't really dive into the case as far as the paperwork go. Because if we talking about paperwork, ain't no way that someone who has read Mr. Kelly's paperwork will be out here saying and repeating some of the shit that they've said if they have read the paperwork. I mean the transcripts, the black and white, word for word, what it says in this man's case to see what happened to this man during his trial. As I'm sitting here and I'm listening to Willie D live and I'm listening to Ceddy Nash and I'm listening to all of these people and they talk about, well, I don't think R. Kelly got a chance. I think his lawyers are blowing smoke because nothing has happened to him. Well, they talk about somebody was going to stab him, but he didn't get stabbed, so I don't think the threat is still there. But where were these people in 2020? Where were these bloggers at in 2020? Where was Willie D live at in 2020? Where were any of these people at in 2020 when R. Kelly was attacked in his sleep by an inmate who could possibly be associated with a gang? Where were these people? So you can't say that he hadn't been attacked when the man was attacked out of his sleep in 2020 while serving time in Chicago. While serving time in Chicago, Mr. Kelly was attacked while he was asleep. So you can't say hasn't nothing has happened to him since he's been incarcerated because the man has been dealt a bad fucking hand, since he's been incarcerated. Let's not forget the fucking malpractice of them leaving a cast on this man's leg for so long that he started to get blood clots because the nurses in the jail, the doctors, whoever, they refused to take the fucking cast off of the man's leg, which caused him to get blood clots that he could have possibly passed away from if he wouldn't have been caught in time. You see what I'm saying? But I sit around, I'm listening to Willie D. I'm listening to these are brothers, right? I'm listening to these brothers. I'm listening to these, of course, we know the opposition gonna feel the way that they feel. That's why I don't fuck with the opposition. That's why I don't fuck with the opposition. But when I sit around and listen to brothers talk the way that they talk and say the shit that they saying, and these are supposed to be brothers who talk about having paperwork and paperwork parties and reading people paperwork. They want to read the discovery. They want to read the transcript. So how is that even the case when every time anything come out in the media, anytime anything come out in the media regarding R. Kelly or anytime R. Kelly speak up for himself or anytime someone speaking on R. Kelly's behalf, they got to be blowing smoke up their ass. They got to be reaching. Oh, it can't be true. Come on, man. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. When I heard Willie D and this other guy say that, well, R. Kelly wasn't attacked, so how could he say that? Yeah, he was attacked. The man was attacked in his sleep. And the guy who attacked him said that he was let into R. Kelly's cell by a fucking guard. The guy said that he was let into R. Kelly's cell by a guard. And he acted under the direction of guards who directed him to do what he done. But what did they do? They tried to turn around and blame R. Kelly being attacked by this inmate on protesters being outside of the jail, which caused the jail to be locked down, which made this inmate so mad that he went and attacked Rob. He went and attacked R. Kelly. Whole time there was a whole fucking lie. This inmate attacked R. Kelly simply because he was ordered to do so by guard staff in the MCC in Chicago. What's up, Red Red K, baby? What's up, everybody in the chat? So, you can't say that this man's life hadn't been threatened. You can't say that this man's life hadn't been threatened since he's been incarcerated. And why every time someone speak out, we all know about the corruption that happened within this case. Everybody know about the amount of corruption I ain't gonna say everybody, the people that want to know. People that wanted to know what was going on in R. Kelly case, they did the research. They did the paperwork. They read the paperwork. They read the transcripts. Everybody understood. The people who wanted to understand what was going on with R. Kelly during his trial, they took out the time to read the shit. They took out the time to listen in. They took out the time to look the shit up. But when you talking about people like Willie D and Ceddy Nash and all these other black content creators who out here just ride the goddamn buck, you know what I'm saying? They just riding the muck just because. Come on, man. Y'all people are the main reason why a lot of the narratives are able to continue to be pushed, because you niggas aren't doing your research. Y'all don't care to do y'all research because it's not anyone that you care for. But let it be an artist or a celebrity that these people got love for, they gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. But when it comes to R. Kelly, this man doesn't deserve the benefit of the doubt. This man, he got the most to lose. This man fucking worth over $1 billion. This man worth over $1 billion. He got the most to lose. All the shit that they did to this man since he's been incarcerated, they've tried to break this man. They've tried to break him. And because he refused to bow down, because he refused to give in, because he refused to have remorse, because R. Kelly refused to have remorse, this is the punishment that they feel he deserved. I'm not lying. I mean, you go look it up. I'm going to look on my phone. I took a screenshot. Let me know if you all can hear me good still. Put a 1 in the chat if you can still hear me good. Put a 1 in the chat if you all can still hear me good. Because I try to come on and I try to be direct and straightforward with what I got to say within my message. But I'm gonna read something for y'all. That a few weeks ago, I took a screenshot of this while I was let me see if I got it still. I'm looking for it. I took a screenshot of this article, and it was talking about R. Kelly during his trial. And it was a statement from, let me see if I got it, y'all. I'm looking. Man, let me make sure. I read this statement, man, from this article that was put out. And pretty much the article was saying because R. Kelly didn't show remorse during the trial, man, this is why they tried to punish him, because he didn't show remorse. Like, are you serious? Like, man, I'm trying to remember where I know I screenshotted it. But I'm gonna let y'all listen to this report With I'm gonna let y'all listen to Bo Brindley and this news conference he had with this woman. Now listen to this lady, and don't and man, tell me, don't this woman sound like Gayle King?
Allegedly said that the Bureau of Prisons sought him out to murder a fellow inmate. Why? Well, that's an excellent question, and the answer to that is also pretty clear. Mr. Stein, in his declaration, has set forth the reason that was given. The reason is that Mr. Kelly was about to expose some facts that would be extremely inflammatory and damaging to the Bureau of Prisons and the Department of Justice. And because of that, the Bureau of Prisons instructed Michael Glenn Stein to go to Butner and execute R. Kelly. And Mr. Stein made clear and gave us extraordinary detail when we spoke to Mr. Stein. We didn't use this until we actually went down and met with Mr. Stein for hours. And he told us in extraordinary detail that this is not the first instance, that this happens all the time, that the Aryan Brotherhood has been directed to commit murders and beatings at the behest of prison officials for years. People have been killed who pose problems for officers, for lawsuits, and it happens. According to Mr. Stein, not only will he tell you that it happens, he will explain, when given the opportunity in great detail, all of these murders in which he has participated, which he has directed other Aryan Brotherhood people to do. This being the most recent. Yeah, like murder's a big deal, right? I think we can all agree on that. And putting a target on someone's head, kind of a last resort. What kind of information are we talking about that allegedly R. Kelly is in possession of that would be unflattering to the government at a level that would, suggest that a hit was put on his head? Well, let me say it this way: it's not. It's not allegedly having evidence. We do have evidence, and one piece of evidence we've already presented in the form of a signed declaration from Keyshawn Mogadamudi, Robert's former cellmate. And what he describes is having been solicited by prosecutors who are offering him a reduced sentence in exchange for stealing Mr. Kelly's privileged attorney-client correspondence, funneling it through an identified Bureau of Prisons officer, a corrupt officer, and then that was provided to the U.S. Attorney's Office. This man has made a statement, and both he and Mr. Stein are making statements that are absolutely not in their own personal interest, and yet they've done it anyway. And so we do have that evidence. And what that evidence means is we're talking about prosecutors and Bureau of Prison guards, not just guards, but officials, people that are officers. We're talking about these people committing crimes. The theft of Mr. Kelly's mail was a crime, and it was a violation of his constitutional rights. On top of that, there's another prison guard against which a lawsuit is pending, Tawana Ingram, who also stole other attorney-client funds. Let me jump in here, because I've been around the block.
So I want y'all. Do y'all? This is a news reporter. Do y'all hear this news reporter, man? She reminds me of Gayle King, damn near. Like, no matter what this lawyer is, this attorney for R. Kelly is telling her, she just want to be the devil's advocate because she just can't find it within herself to just believe, like, okay, if this man, why do this man have to study repeat that they have evidence? They have evidence of this situation, but she just can't take that and let it be. She want to keep asking questions like she working for the fucking government. If you ask me,
As you have as well. And if I had a dime for the number of inmates who lied under oath on the stand, you name it.
What if you had a dime for every fucking victim or every witness who lied on the stand under oath, motherfucker? You ever thought about that? What if you had a dime for every motherfucking victim and every witness who got on the stand and fucking lied? I'll be a millionaire, right? I have some oceanfront property in motherfucking Idaho, right? I'm quite sure. So what do it mean when you say, if I had a dime for every inmate who done lied on the stand? What if I had a dime for every witness and every victim who's lied on the stand? I'll be a rich motherfucker too. That's why I hate to see, I hate when people go to these news media outlets who are biased before the interview even take place. They already have a bias within their heart before they even conduct the interview. She's challenging everything that Bo Brindley is saying. She's challenging it. You a fucking reporter. You don't supposed to be out here being a goddamn prosecutor.
I'd be on a yacht in the Med. However, suggesting that the government thinks that this alleged behavior of a cellmate of R. Kelly's is so egregious that the only remedy is to solicit murder sounds a bit crazy. Again, given it would be their word against an inmate. So you see where I'm coming from, right? That's why it sounds fantastic.
An inmate is a human being. Just because they're an inmate doesn't make them not be human. So what the fuck is the difference in a prosecutor and an inmate? They both human beings. So just because everyone an inmate is not goddamn a criminal, just because someone's an inmate don't mean that their word doesn't hold weight. This is this type of shit that we're dealing with in America. Once they put a label on you, no matter what you do, no matter what you say, whether it's true or false, these people already have a biasness against you.
And I guess the other question to add to that is that if the threat is over, meaning the man allegedly solicited to kill R. Kelly has come clean and said, "I won't do it. I'm going to sing like a canary instead." Where's the threat? The threat is the other members of the Aryan Brotherhood, another one of which has been identified, who's been.
The threat is the motherfucking United States government. The threat is prison officials. The threat is other inmates. So just because an inmate came out and said, hey, they got me, they wanted me to do it, but I'm not going to do it, like Bo Brindley is telling her, that doesn't mean that another inmate won't take the opportunity. That doesn't mean another inmate won't take the opportunity.
Asked to carry out what Mike Stein has been unwilling to do. That's what you have to understand. What we're talking about here is government officials who committed crimes, like people still in the Bureau of Prisons that committed crimes. Crimes that the current administration, the current Department of Justice will have no sympathy for, I guarantee. And those people have benefited in going after R. Kelly and making their names and getting their publicity and all of that. And now the truth is they did it through constitutional violations. They did it through crimes. That Tawana Ingram, the Bureau of Prisons officer that stole his correspondence, there was a search warrant, they proved it, and they said they were going to investigate the U.S. Attorney's Office. You know what happened to her? She got her full pension. She walked away, retired, and was not charged. And she did.
And she should have went to fucking jail. She should have went to jail. She intentionally took this man's jail records. She ripped off all the timestamp on the page off every page. She ripped the timestamp off of it. She knew what she was doing when she did what she did, and they allowed this woman to retire versus go to jail.
As an officer, well, let me ask you this. Corruption behind them. I don't understand how that could be. Right, an inmate doesn't have a pension. So what?
Now y'all see how hard she listening? Do y'all see how hard she's listening? She's so defensive to the point where she's not even listening to what Bo Brindley is even saying. She said an inmate doesn't have a pension, when clearly Bo Brindley said a federal bureau of prison worker took these correspondence. And he gonna say inmate doesn't. She says inmate doesn't have a pension. She's not even listening to even hear what Bo Brindley is saying because he want to defend the government so bad. She want to defend the government so bad. She's not even caring what Bo Brindley has to say. She clearly just took what this man said and say an inmate doesn't have a pension when he clearly said a Federal Bureau of Prison worker took the correspondence. This shit's just crazy, bro.
Brotherhood, another one of which has been identified, who has been asked to carry out what Mike Stein has been unwilling to do. That's you have to understand. What we're talking about here is government officials who committed crimes. Like people still in the Bureau
Now y'all listen to this real close.
of Prisons that committed crimes. Crimes that the current administration, the current Department of Justice will have no sympathy for, I guarantee. And those people have benefited in going after R. Kelly and making their names and getting their publicity and all of that. And now the truth is they did it through constitutional violations. They did it through crimes. That Tawana Ingram, the Bureau of Prisons officer that stole his correspondence, there was a search warrant, they proved it, and they said they were going to investigate the U.S. Attorney's Office. You know what happened to her? She got her full pension. She walked away, retired, and was not charged. And she did it as an officer.
Well, let me ask you this.
Not corruption behind that. I don't understand how that could be.
Right, an inmate doesn't have a pension, so
She said an inmate doesn't have a pension. What the hell is she talking about? She said an inmate doesn't have a pension. This man ain't said shit about an inmate having a pension. The man never said nothing about an inmate having a pension. But this is a news media outlet. And this is what happened when these attorneys and like R. Kelly went on Gayle King. When these people when they go into these platforms to talk about the corruption within the government, these news reporters are government workers. These news reporters are government workers. It's clear. They work for the government.
what would possibly be the incentive for an inmate to commit a murder in prison at the behest of the government? Like, what benefit? What do they get?
It depends on the circumstances. What Mr. Stein says is oftentimes what they get is the ability to traffic narcotics freely throughout the facility. What they get is the ability not to be searched. But in this instance, what Mr. Stein has clearly said he gets is the opportunity to be free. I mean, they have said to Mr. Stein, according to him, they have said that if he is to do this, he is a terminal cancer patient. He's going to die in the near future. That's a fact. And they have said that he will be transferred and he'll get the opportunity to walk away. And Michael Glenn Stein has a history of escaping from the Bureau of Prisons. He escaped previously. That's why he spent so long at the ADX Supermax in Florence. And all of a sudden, he was moved to this relatively low security facility at Butner and put near R. Kelly. That's a fact. And the other fact is, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say I'm out of time in this segment. However, I would like to keep the conversation going with you.
Don't nobody want to talk to you. Don't nobody want to talk to you. I know Bo Brindley was pissed off when he got done with this interview. Don't nobody want to talk to you. Ain't nobody got shit to say to you. But all I'm going to say is this. When it comes to black platforms, and we talking about culture, we talking about our business. You got people like Willie D, ceddy Nash, Roland Martin, all these big name black platforms. These people don't do no research. They don't do no investigation. They had no interest in the case. They had no interest in the case. But now that R. Kelly lawyer come out with the news about this alleged attack, you know, now they saying, oh, this is a witch hunt. Oh, well, if he didn't get stabbed, then they don't have nothing. Well, we all know that Mr. Kelly was attacked. We all know that he was attacked in his sleep. That's a fact. He was attacked while he was sleeping by an inmate. Then they turned around and tried to blame the attack on protesters outside the jail and said that that caused the jail to be locked down. But the actual inmate who attacked Mr. Kelly said that he was ordered to attack R. Kelly by prison officials, staff. It's funny. Hey, what up, Uncle Muse? So now you ask yourself, this woman say, well, if the person who was supposed to carry out the attack has come clean, well, that's the second person that this the second time they done put, this the second time that they didn't have someone who, the first time the guy did attack R. Kelly, this guy was supposed to attack R. Kelly, uh, but he did not go through with it. Let's not forget about them not giving this man that. Let's hold on. Let's not forget they put the man in prison during COVID-19 when the facility was filled with COVID while he was going through his trial, when they could have allowed this man to be free on an ankle monitor or anything and make sure he come to court until he was found guilty. But instead, they placed this man into prison that was filled with COVID-19, which possibly could have killed him. Then he get a cast on his leg. They keep the cast on for 3 months longer than it should have been on, which generated blood clots that possibly could have killed him, damn near killed him. So there's been multiple attacks on this man's life since he's been incarcerated. It's not just through people, it's through staff, it's through the doctors, it's through all type of shit. This man has been under attack in so many different ways. From what I read earlier today, they got the man in solitary confinement. He don't want to eat because he afraid that he may get poisoned. Like, okay, y'all say the man committed a crime. Y'all sent the man to court. He went to trial. Y'all sentenced him to the amount of time y'all sentenced him to. So why are y'all still trying to take him out? Why are y'all still trying to take the man out? If y'all done got what y'all wanted, a guilty verdict, all of this shit, you gotta ask yourself, why? If y'all got the verdict that y'all wanted, why are y'all still trying to attack this man? You all must not be confident in the way that y'all went about getting the conviction. One thing my granddad always told me, you will spend your lifetime trying to defend and cover up a lie when the truth will always prevail. The truth remains the same. The truth don't change. And the only thing that has been consistent throughout this fight is that R. Kelly has continued to maintain his innocence. And they act like they don't know what's going on. They act as if they don't see what's going on. The same shit they told they wanted Bill Cosby to do. They told Bill Cosby, if you just admit, we will let you free today. Bill Cosby say, before I admit to something I didn't do, I'm willing to live the rest of my life in this place. 3 to 6 months later, Bill Cosby is being released from prison. What about if Bill Cosby would have just went on and said, okay, I did it, just because he wanted to be free? Now he have to live the rest of his life with this shit hanging over his head. So they so mad because, oh, R. Kelly showed no remorse. Well, how can I show remorse for something that y'all said I did, but I know I did not do? This just crazy, man. They want people to admit, and this is the thing they do. They press people. They put them in confinement. They put them in unusual situations, which causes them to feel as though they gonna do whatever it needs to be done in order for them to be out. So they end up pleading out to different shit or shit they didn't do, which is a lot of inmates does this. A lot of inmates plea out the shit a lot of people in prison have plead out to things that they did not do simply because of the conditions that they are being placed in. They just want to get out. What up, Lex? Hold on, y'all. Let's see. Let me see what I got on here.
At the same time, because I know who I was talking to. It's hard to trust people. People take my words, they twist them, and all I'm trying to do is get out the truth.
Yes.
And that's the only reason I continue talking is because even though I'm in the dark and don't know who I'm talking to, my strength comes from because I'm telling the truth. You know. So I was gonna say, man, you mean to tell me a BOP disciplinary hearing officer is going to just wake up one day and say, let me just take a chance on my career, losing my career and going to jail, and just access all of my private phone calls?
It doesn't make sense, because personally I wouldn't risk my career like that.
That's my point. You know, let me just take a chance and just access R. Kelly's records, private records between him and his girlfriend and his attorney 153 times. So let me do it 153 times. Let me scan that to my own personal Gmail, and then let me send that to a blogger, Tasha K, who happens to know my girlfriend Joycelyn father really good, who happens to know the parents of the government witness in my case. These are not coincidences, man. This is a plan. You know what plan it is? People have to see.
Okay, so now I found this article, and I'm gonna put it up. And this article was posted by the U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement. They did an article on R. Kelly and said United States Attorney for the Eastern District of New York and Steve K. Francis, acting executive associate director, Homeland Security Investigations, announced the sentence. It said R. Kelly used his fame, fortune, and enablers to prey on the young, the vulnerable, and the voiceless for his own sexual gratification. While many turned a blind eye, stated United States Attorney Pace. Through his actions, Kelly exhibited a callous disregard for the devastation his crimes had on his victims and has shown no remorse for his conduct. That right there, that right there, if our United States government is going to look at someone and assume that they have no remorse, if the government is going to look at someone and assume that they have no remorse, when this person hadn't said nothing, R. Kelly said not one word. He did not get on the stand. He didn't speak. He didn't say nothing. And for the government to just assume that this man has no remorse, that shows a biasness within the government. Through his actions, Kelly exhibited a callous disregard for the devastation his crimes had on his victims and has shown no remorse for his conduct. With today's sentence, he has finally and appropriately been held accountable for for his decades of abuse, exploitation, and degradation of teenagers and other vulnerable young people. We hope that today's sentence brings some measures of comfort and closure to the victims, including those who bravely testified at trial, and served as long overdue recognition that their voice deserves to be heard on Their Lives Matter. Man, come on. Why is the government speaking on someone having remorse or showing no remorse? How do they know Mr. Kelly doesn't have remorse? How would they know? Did they ask him? Did he give a statement? Just because the man is saying that I'm innocent, they're assuming that they're taking his innocence to be non-remorseful. Just because he's not begging for his life, just because he's not begging and saying, just because he's not pleading his case, and the man, instead of saying, the man has said countless times, yeah, I have done some things in my way past, but I've apologized to those women. But for them to just assume that this man has no remorse, that right there just doesn't sit well with me. That doesn't sit well with me. That doesn't sit well with me. You all are supposed to be professionals. Y'all supposed to be professionals. Y'all supposed to go by the law. So at his sentencing, so did they use that to be even more so hard on him? Because this was a statement that was given at his sentencing about him having no remorse. So by them feeling like he has no remorse, was that right? Was that based within his sentencing? Did they use that when they came up with what they were going to charge him, how many years they was going to give him? Did they consider that he had no remorse, so we gonna give him the max 30 years? We're gonna give him 30 years. We're gonna give him 30 years. He don't have no remorse. We're gonna give him 30 years. So what if he would have got on the stand and said, you know what, I'm sorry, I apologize, or whatever the situation may be, would his punishment been lesser? Oh, if they say if he just admit to something, If he take accountability, if he own up to something, if he just say, even though I didn't do it, even though I didn't do it, even though I'm innocent, they want me to have remorse. Come on, man. How? If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Point blank, period. Bo Brindley and all of those people who's representing Mr. Kelly, I would suggest that you all find a platform or a network that you all can come out and talk about Mr. Kelly's case where you're not going to be put on the stand. Listening to that Bo Brindley interview on that news channel, it almost appeared that this woman was putting him on the stand. She was the prosecutor and he was the defendant. That's what it sounded like. Everything he said, she challenged. The man came on this platform to talk about new evidence that they have discovered that possibly puts Mr. Kelly's life in danger. But what she did, she sat there and questioned everything about it. And also, Jennifer Bunjean, Bo Brindley, man, they need to put a stop to some of these people who going around who claim to have done time with R. Kelly, who claim to have conversations with R. Kelly, who claim that R. Kelly told them shit, firsthand knowledge. Man, Jennifer, please, if you can, if you ever see anything I ever posted or talked about, a lot of these people need to be sent cease and desist letters because you got people out here claiming that they were close to Mr. Kelly, that they had conversations with Mr. Kelly, that he told them firsthand knowledge about certain situations that they claim that they know that people are going to take this shit and run with it. They're going to clip it out and they're going to turn it and twist it and turn it into whatever they want it to be. So when people hear it, they only hearing bits and pieces of this shit, which creates new narratives. And I just feel like I just feel like people need to be held accountable for the shit that they are going out here saying on these platforms and talking about R. Kelly then did this, R. Kelly then did that, R. Kelly told them this, R. Kelly told them that. Hey man, it's time out for that shit, man. It's been 6 fucking years. It's been 6 years. It's been 6 years. What the clout chasing for still? What the lies for still? Saying that this man that told you shit firsthand knowledge, man, all of these people, a lot of these motherfuckers out here, man, they want to, they out here trying to extort R. Kelly. And just because R. Kelly not giving in, all of a sudden they want to create these narratives saying that this man that told them shit, saying that this man admitted to this and admitted to that, saying that he told them this and told them that. That's all bullshit, man. But I don't even I look at the people who going around saying shit like that about R. Kelly told them this shit and said this shit and they know firsthand knowledge. I look at those people some type of way, but I look at the people on these platforms who have people on their platform. I look at those people a certain type of way. Because if it's my platform, I'm not letting somebody come on my platform just running their fucking mouth and they don't have any receipts to prove this shit. You're not coming on my platform if I can't verify. You can't show me where this man told you this shit. You just ain't finna come on my platform saying that, oh, R. Kelly, yeah, I was locked up with him, or I was in the gym with him, or I used to be on tour with him, and he used to tell me this. No, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. That's the problem. It's motherfuckers out here trying to tell R. Kelly's story, and can't nobody tell R. Kelly's story better than R. Kelly can tell his own story. Uncle Muse.
Peace and blessings, nephew. Blessing to everybody in the chat. What's good with you?
Man, I'm just on here talking a little bit, man. I was excited to I've been seeing what's been going around, with the new information. And I just been sitting back, I've been sitting back allowing, people to talk about it and have the discussions about it. Because I really don't want to get back into this shit. I never been into the drama or any of that shit, but I really don't want to come out here and not be able to feed the people something that they can that's going to be nourishing to their mind. You know what I'm saying? I want to come out here and feed the people something that's going to help them think, something that's going to help them bring something to the table. So I just came on today because I've been listening and listening and listening, and I'm hearing these people like Willie D, man. It's so disappointing. Hearing these people like ceddy Nash, hearing these people on the news is so disappointing, but it's an expected disappointment because I expect it, you know. So it's not the type of disappointment that catches you off guard. It's expected disappointment. And for these people to say that R. Kelly is a legend, that his life is in danger, but he hasn't been attacked, how quick do we forget? We understand this, that right there lets you know that these people is only using R. Kelly name for clicks and views because they haven't been invested within the case. Because if they have been invested within the case, then they would know that in 2020 R. Kelly was attacked in his sleep.
Right, right, yeah. The thing that comes to my mind continues that I just can't shake is that one thing I always say: you have to look at the spirit working behind whatever it is.
Yes.
You have to do that. If you look at the surface and look through the lens of your pain, your anger, your emotions, just cross the board for nobody really in the chat. Just cross the board for whoever they may be, ops or whatever you want to call them. If you balk, you have no integrity, you don't have principle, you can't call it down the middle, you ain't on the Republican side, you ain't on the Democrat side, none of that. You're about fairness and justice and people being done right. And if someone did submit something that was lawlessness, then whatever the law says need to, that's it. You know what I mean? But if you're not looking through the right lens, then, there you have it. And if you somebody who, like I said, who's been bought and paid for, or you in alliance with that agenda, then you're gonna come on platform and talk like that. That's allowed in this world, in America. That's just amazing to me. The other thing I will state, and I yield back, and I think the chat is picking up when I'm laying down. The other thing is you have to ask yourself and wonder: New York trial, Chicago trial. In both states, Mr. Kelly was given a sentence. Okay? So we have that total amount. Okay? You done already stopped everything before you went in. You stopped everything. You took everything from every single thing that can be taken from a human. And you have did that man's name to the only person that can clean it up and resurrect their name is God himself. And I'm not trying to be all religious. I'm just speaking facts. Here's my point. You have to think, what is this person's threat or worth that even in all of that, you are still trying to take him off the planet? What does this person what do he represent? What did this person accomplish What did he achieve that is so threatening
Speak on it.
that high officials in the highest land, down to the little soldiers, uh, journalism and platforms and TV news, all of this stuff that's coming into agreement for this one human
Huh.
when there's murderers for decades that don't even get that kind of attention and treatment.
But what they say?
I'm gonna let that breathe. I'm
But
gonna let that
no,
breathe
what
because
they
that's
say?
them.
But what happened when Jesus? They say that everybody stood around, right? No, they won't see what's going on. Nobody gonna say nothing. Who is he? Why do it take all of y'all to deal with this one man? Why do it take all of y'all to try and put away this one man and not even knowing the power that this person possesses?
Yeah,
I
want people
just
to
said
think.
it before you came on. I asked myself, I say, how is it? What up, EJ? I say, how is it that you convict a man, you sentence him to all this time, and that's still not enough?
I hear you, brother Lex. But here's my thing. Like I said, oh, this corrupt system. Got to go deeper than that. Forget about the system. Forget about that. What did he accomplish?
Do y'all hear that static? Hold on. It's static. So I don't know if you're on an earpiece or what, but it's getting static.
I don't know if I can correct it.
It got a little static. You want to go out and come back in? Because you was
Yeah, let me try.
there at first.
Let me, okay, let me try something. Stand by.
All right.
I had to put it on charge. Out of it.
Oh, type in the chat when you're ready for me to add you back up here. I'm breaking up too. Shit. I might need to get to my laptop, you guys. So look, give me about 30 minutes and I can get to my laptop and then I will come back. Give me about 30 minutes. I'm gonna get to my laptop and I'm gonna come back and finish this conversation real quick. But look, I appreciate each and every one of y'all that's over here. I'm driving home. I'm driving on my way home. I hopped on to talk about it, to talk to you guys. But I will be back later on. I thank you all for support, for all your support, for all y'all support, and I'll catch y'all later on when I go live again. Because I don't know, maybe my phone is overheating or something. And I haven't been on this. I haven't been on it in so long doing no live. So maybe I need to get on my laptop. So I appreciate y'all for coming, man. Y'all make sure y'all continue to support Kels and free Kels until we see Kels. And let's just ask God to keep Kels protected, man. And that he come home in one piece as he left. Until next time, man, y'all be blessed.